The Lord of War is in Iran. No need for ceasefire. If you look at this spiritually, it doesn't take a brain surgeon for you to see. Spiritually, wars are fought on the spiritual plane before it comes into the physical. So wars are fought in the invisible realm, and then it's in the physical realm. Also, this world is more spiritual than what most people have been led to believe. What I mean by that here, a new way, a friendlier way to say it is, instead of openly saying sorcery, witchcraft, mysticism, the new term these days is spirituality. You hear a lot of this being banned around this planet, and it's because they need a way to still talk about a cult, and especially occult magic, like dark end spectrum of it. And whenever you have what we call blood sacrifice, which is human sacrifice, a lot of people don't realize that wars are human sacrifice. We still have wholesale human sacrifice. It's just these days you can do massive human sacrifice with these missiles and stuff like that. So we still have ongoing human sacrifice. It didn't go anywhere. This is why you're hearing people saying spirituality. Okay, so you know, and then also that's like a thin line you have to tread careful because a lot of people are still asleep. They're not awakened. So when you are dealing with people that are not consciously awakened, it could be a little too much for them. You know, it could be a little too strong for them because they might find it a little too dark for them because you see, they had the veil pulled over their eyes, but many people are seeing through the veil. Now, mind you, you do have people that still have veils on their eyes, but they're seeing through it. What they're seeing is moving shadow, and they're getting confused by the shadow that they see. And there are people that have physically taken their hand and ripped the veil off their eyes so they can see the world around them that has been hidden from them, that been cloaked from them. And there are people that don't know what to make of this stuff, you know, where they're getting information overload. And also, we're in the time of Aquarius. That means more and more truth is going to come out. A lot of stuff is going to be very uncomfortable to the ear. Some things are going to make your stomach hurt, to be honest with you, when you hear the truth. These truths cannot be hidden because we're entering into the truth, the era of truth. Everything hidden has to be surfaced. That's just like when they did the Epstein dump. Everybody was like surprised, like, oh my gosh, oh, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Okay, so they did 3 million and they did another 3 million. Well, what about the next 3 million they're gonna dump? How will the world look when 9 million pieces of information been, because the first one you saw how everybody was acting like, and then you see the second one, they doing drip, 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 drip. Now the third one, that's gonna be like, whoo, hold your ish, because that's going to come out because you live in the era of truth here now. There's a way that this planet, well, this dimension is governed. And if we look at the skyline and stuff like that, see, all of this goes into spirituality here now. And I'm gonna get back to this, the 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 Lord of War. Imagine that many people, like I just said, that's not spiritually attuned and lying. They do not realize what some of my viewers have come to realize and what I know to be truth here on this dimension are blown away when they're looking at these things. Like, for example, let's look at this here, people. It's because I don't want to get hit with like a strike or anything. I'm turning it down for one reason. Is because this is for fair usage for educational purpose. Now look at this. These are clustered. When have we known clusters actually do that in the sky? Look at that. Y'all see how that stuff flew the other way? Like, you know, these things cannot be hit. One of the things that we have been taught for so many years that they had an iron dome, and we see it's not factual. Well, at least we can see that. Look at these clusters. I want you for you to pay attention to this cluster here now, and look what's going on here. These things are hitting their mark. They don't really have anything on the ground that can combat these things that's coming in. And then we also get an image of what the place really looked like. Okay, in spite of the fact that the Western media is telling lies as usual, we know that they have mastered the art of telling untruth, and they have mastered the art of cloaking things. We know they have. But we're living in the era of truth. There's just so much masking you can do, and there's just so much cloaking you can do when the truth is there for all to see. You know, A lot of things that we're a lot of things ain't gonna look too attractive and sexy within like in this coming year and stuff like that. It's a lot of because I was like, why would they need a ceasefire for what? What do they need that for? If the Lord of War is over there, like what is that going to do for them? Like what do they need that for? A lot of people never really stopped to really question why do they need that for. And I was telling someone, I said, for what? What is that going to do for them? And then I'm actually getting this. The reason I want to get this is that I want to make sure I always give credit because I don't want anyone to think that I'm just taking content. No, I want to give full credit to Dafratar Popular. So I definitely want to give full credit to that. It's not my content, just something I was sharing and stuff like that. So um, literally giving full credit for it, not taking any kind of ownership of this stuff. Um, and basically, I'm looking far as for images and stuff like that. As we can see, what I think to be very interesting is that we have people taking image of this stuff while this stuff is going in real time, which I think to be very interesting. That in real time we have people actually literally taking image of this stuff. So as we can see, this is coming from the bottom. Okay, so this is a missile coming from the bottom. As we can see, like smoke. Y'all see how bright and hot this is. This is ringing, right? And we see it coming from the. Look at this. It went that way. So these things go in different direction. These cluster bombs. Okay, so it's like one go right, one go left, one go center, one go back. So when they drop in these clusters, these things are going in four different directions. So there's some kind of intelligent tip to it. So if it's going different direction, and we also know it can invade, it doesn't like at the bottom is sending something like you see the clusters. Look at that. There's some kind of like intelligence to it. See that? It's still going to hit its mark. These are the clusters coming in. So that don't stop them from hitting their mark. Boom. There we go. That's to show you that there's something going on over there. It's bigger than meet the eye. It's extremely spiritual to it. And what I mean, there's a heavy spiritual dose to it. And like I was trying to say earlier in the video, modern time of saying mysticism, sorcery, witchcraft, blood sacrifice, etc., and etc., and etc., and etc. Modern time, we say spiritual. Okay, so when we're saying the world is very spiritual, a lot of people don't understand. We still have occultism, we still have warlocks, we still have witches, we still have emperor, we still have grand wizards, we still have this stuff going on the planet, people. We still have high end blood sacrifice taking places. We still have that. We didn't get away from that stuff compared to properly. What they did is that they put a thin veneer on it, and this thin veneer is what people really believe, that they were not fighting wickedness in high places, spiritual. They didn't realize the world around them. So whenever you do get a chance to, I have video. I made took my time to make some video about principalities. So I need for y'all whenever y'all get a chance to in this channel. I have videos about principalities for you to understand how principalities work. Okay. And also for you to understand how spiritual contract works. So I have videos on these things because this is something I was really, really, really extremely interested in. And I put a lot of years trying to learn about this stuff because there was a lot of things that just didn't make any sense to me. And the more and more I started to dig into this, I realized that it's spiritual, people. People don't understand. We got high end occultism going on. We have different layers of, especially what we call the infernal realm. We have different level of it because we live on the terrain, right? Underneath us, there's multiple layers of reality underneath us, and just like above us, it's many realities. So we often heard that it's above below, but we who have allow ourselves, well, our dimension have a thin veil on it. And I'm hearing people talk about. I said those are not aliens; those are beings from other dimensions. That's not what those are. Not alien people. They're from different dimension within our own sphere. Um, and they're coming on this side with this foolishness, like, "Oh, we created you." No, they didn't. We're here to save you. No, they're not here to save us because what they're doing here is that they're contributing to a lot of chaos here. And they need to get the tail out of this damn dimension, go back where the heck their rumps come from. That's what they really need to do. So we're gonna have to be careful with that. So expect them to do a fake alien invasion foolishness, which they've never actually left this planet because it's multiple dimension. Now they may know how to slid in from one dimension to another. Yeah, I don't put nothing past them because when you're doing this level of sorcery and this level of, yeah, you would know how to do these things. That's common sense here now. Um, but what I'm saying here, whatever controls war is definitely over there, and it has come in, and they don't care about no be called whatever you want to call. You don't care about that. It definitely will summon in. Now, who summoned it in, I don't know. Okay, but I do know whatever it is, it's got its rump over there, and I do know it don't need a damn ceasefire because what it do is war. Okay, and it looked like it came in with a whole click. It clicked up from here to Timber to y'all about to see some stuff. It about to go a crap because number one, when I realized that the Lord of War was there, when I saw Baram, boom, Carter, boom, AU, boom, and I saw Saudi Arabia, boom, and I would just start seeing them. They were getting them licks left and right. And when I look, and I took a look at what was being hit, and I'm gonna show y'all what was being hit, okay? And I want to show y'all this real quick. What was being hit here? When I took a look at this, because this is the Strait of Hormuz right here, right? And this is the Persian Gulf people. And it just so happened to be like once they started, and this is Iran. People don't realize that Iran is like the center right here. All these countries are facing Iran, and it's just so it was like boom. It's actually facing Saudi Arabia. A lot of people don't know that. AU, Bahrain, all of them, Oman, all these things are facing. All these countries are facing Iran. Iran is a gigantic place. Now it makes sense why the Lord of War were like, hey, y'all better get it together. I don't know who the hell y'all think y'all clapping at right over here. It just makes a lot of sense to me when I actually take a look at that. And then I don't really want to go too far. We have this, and then a lot of people don't realize how big the stray really is. People don't realize that what the fight is about. This is a big chokehold, you know. Now the Lord of War and whatever's going on, they're telling them to get their rump out of the Strait of Hormuz. They tell them to get out of here. Mamandad Strait, Bob Al Mamandad Strait. They tell them to get their tails out of there. And they pretty much say, get your tails out of the Red Sea and get your tails out of the Suez Canal. Get your little tails out there. And they mean business. Now, people are kind of shocked because they're so stunned because they never seen anything like this before. Um, what we're watching is the it is passing the baton. Definitely, when all of this said and done, the world's gonna look different. The economic system they have here, we're not gonna have that anymore. We'll have a different form of economic. Everything's gonna look different. It's gonna be, I believe, Iran is gonna have a lot more say in the future. Um, this area, I hope the people are well taken care of because after this is all said and done, there's gonna be a lot of death over there. Because God burned some down in order for you to make it new, right? It's very unfortunate, but that's just the way the game is played here. So I do hope that they're well taken care of after everything goes said and done. I always have a soft spot for Sudan. Sudan been going through hell. Saudi Arabia, what they've been doing in there, AU, all what they've been doing to them has just been heart wrenching. How they've been stealing their resources from them, how they've kept that conflict going on over there for about as long as time, for a long time against them. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah. Yep. But definitely the Lord of War is definitely over there. It's no doubt. He's there. He don't need a ceasefire, people. Mm-mm. And as time go on, you're gonna remember they had Manushka said that they don't need a ceasefire. What do they need a ceasefire? What do the Lord of War and his entourage need ceasefire for? And you guys will start realizing little by little, Manushka told the truth. He doesn't need one. He's the Lord of War, and his clique is over there, and they don't need that. They finna do stuff that finna blow the mind of the planet, man. They finna do some stuff you was gonna be like, "Whoa, did they just do that?" Ooh, you you already see they screaming ceasefire. It ain't the ones. It's kind of funny. You the one that started stuff, and you screaming ceasefire, and then the ones who didn't start it, not say no, no ceasefire. You're gonna fight this. You came in here to fight, then you're gonna fight. So the question is, where did they get that Lord of War from? What dimension did they get him from? Is he from the higher realm? Is he from the lower realm? We know that the ones that went propagating it, we know those little Epstein lights. That's the better word for Epstein lights, the Epstein lists. We know they love to mess with the infernal realm. The question is, the one down there, what realm did he come from? That's the question here, man. And the higher the realm he come from, that means he ain't playing. He ain't playing. So y'all better figure out what realm that one came from, cause it looked like he crazy, and he ain't the one. He ain't the one. That fool ain't the one on this table, man. Y'all finna see some crazy stuff. Hold on tight. Y'all finna see some stuff that's gonna blow y'all brains out y'all head. The best is yet to come. Y'all finna see every clap back. It like y'all finna see they throw one to drop one building, one building. And you gonna say Manishka told the truth. One building drop, the clapback gonna be 100 building in return. They drop 100 building, the clapback gonna be 1,000 building. They drop 1,000 building, the clapback gonna be 10,000. They drop 10,000, the clapback gonna be 100,000. They drop 100,000 building, the clapback gonna be 1 million. It's gonna be just like that. It's gonna be so insane. It's gonna be more brutal. The clapback. It's like what they do for a little lick. The clapback gonna be more than just a little lick, because right now they're not messing with typical human intellect anymore. These people have ventured into dealing. This is like what I'm saying in spiritual. This is like an entity we're fighting on right now, full pledge in broad daylight. You know, we have the infernal realm, which is the Epstein lights, fighting with another dimensional warlord clique, and they don't seem like they know what dimension it come from. They look like they startled to the point that they foam in their mouth and they saying stuff backwards and da 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 da, and they can't stay coherent because they got them shook. They're not coherent what's coming out their mouth. Even the world, even the ones that sleep and realize, hey, something wrong with these stories y'all saying here. And it's gonna come crystal clear more and more and more by the day. I know they bit off more than they can handle, and I know they don't know what to do about the warlords over there, and they don't know what dimension it came from. They really don't know what dimension it come from. They don't know if it came from the infernal realm, and if it didn't come from the infernal realm, it came from the ascension, the light part. Where about the light part did these people come from here? See, they way out of the league. They don't know what to do about this stuff. They really don't know what to do with it. Anyway, please like and subscribe. But it's gonna get interesting. It's gonna get interesting. We're watching warfare in broad daylight. Anyway, please like and subscribe. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm.